Welcome to Influential Sports and the third edition of Around the NFL. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. But first, I'm going to start. It's mainly two topics I'm going to be covering today. One is who I think should win each award for the NFL this season. Then I get into my wild card predictions for the playoffs. For the first award, MVP, I think Lamar Jackson should win MVP. He has, from the eye test, this has been Lamar's best season of his career. He doesn't have the same numbers as his first MVP season, but he's played great this year. Two of his most notable games was against the 49ers and the Dolphins, two important wins and two great games for the Ravens that they were able to get. Then next, the other candidates, I would have this award, Christian McCaffrey for the 49ers, best running back in the league. He had a great season, and he was he's the most valuable player on that 49ers offense. He was amazing this year. Also, Tyreek Hill, he was he was close to 1K. He was not one. He was close to 2K, about three, a little less than 300 yards away. But he had missed some time with an injury. He proved to be very valuable for the Dolphins, and they definitely needed him throughout the season. He played great. Next award, Coach of the Year. I think D'Amico Ryan should win Coach of the Year. The Texans finished 10-7, not only clinched the playoff berth, but won the division. Not much was expected from people of the Texans team, and they really surprised a lot of people. CJ Stroud was amazing. Tank Dell, he was great. He got hurt, unfortunately. Nico Collins, he was good as well. And he got a crucial win against the Colts to clinch the playoff berth. And now they'll clinch the division with the Jaguars losing. The next candidate is Sean McVay. The Rams finished 10-7, clinched the playoff berth. Not a lot was expected from this team, but most people. But Stafford played good. Uh, Luka Doncic, Luka Nakua, and Kyron Williams, they they were spectacular this year. And Sean McVay, he just did a really good job with this team. Then the last Coach of the Year candidate I would have is Kevin Stefanski for the Browns. They finished the season 11-6 and clinched the playoff berth. Now, they had more expectations than the other two teams I named, but they dealt with a lot of injuries throughout the season. And him just being able to coach them to this point, they're at 11-6, clinched the 5 seed, and now they're going to be playing the Texans in the wild card. Now, the next award, some people might disagree with the candidates I have, but comeback player of the year. The way I look at comeback player of the year is someone that half the season or more, missed half the season or more, like a lot of time, and they came back the next season and played good. So who else thinks should win comeback player of the year? Matthew Stafford. He played 9 games last year, really 8 because he got injured in the ninth one and missed the rest of the season. So he wasn't available for half the season. Then he came back this season, had a good year with the Rams, lead them to the playoffs. And I think he should be the one for winning comeback player of the year. He came back from injury and he's been playing great this season. The next candidate I have is Tua. Now, in his case, he played 13 games last year, and that's more than half the season. But he dealt with two concussions, 2 or 3, and a concussion that's a very serious injury. And and he was still playing times he shouldn't have been playing last season. Then he came back this year and put up MVP caliber numbers. So I feel like Tua should definitely be in the race for this award. Then last, Odell OBJ, he missed the full season with the ACL tear from what happened in the Super Bowl in 2021, not or 2022, excuse me. And And he's not playing at the level he was before, but he's had a really good season considering he came off of a scary injury like that. And these are the three candidates I think should be in the running for comeback player of the year. Most people might disagree. That's fine. I know DeMar Hamlin, he had a tough situation. He almost died on the field, but he was able to come back. And it's a good thing the doctors were able to bring him back. But I don't think he should be in the running for comeback player of the year because he's barely played. He's only played a few snaps. I don't think Joe Flacco should win it because he was out the league. He didn't come back from injury or anything like that. And I didn't mention Baker because he's just been inconsistent. I've seen the argument for Baker Mayfield being in it. He's been very inconsistent this year. Then next, offensive player of the year. Now, two of these guys are in the MVP race, and those two are Christian McCaffrey and Tyreek Hill. I think Christian McCaffrey should win offensive player of the year because I think Lamar should clear cut MVP. But McCaffrey, he should definitely be in the running for offensive player of the year. Tyreek Hill second with the season he's had. Then third, will go CeeDee Lamb. You can't deny how great CeeDee Lamb is. He's really picked it up since week 6. Well, certain CeeDee Lamb is the first 5 weeks when he wasn't getting the ball consistently. But since week 6 to week 18, really stepped up, played great. And he's definitely been running, but would be his third for offensive player of the year. Next, defensive player of the year. I think Myles Garrett should win defensive player of the year. He had a really good season. If I know, he was a top 5, and I think he might have been top 3 in sacks from the eye test. He always pressuring the quarterback. Just had a really good season. Next, I'll go for second place. I'll go TJ Watt, who unfortunately tore his MCL in the Steelers win against the Ravens. So prayers up to him for a speedy recovery. But he's had a really good season. He's been running for that award, doing the same things as Myles Garrett. Then next, I'll go Michael Parsons. He's not getting as many sacks as he should, but he's getting pressures and everything else. But Michael Parsons, he's definitely in that race. Next, offensive rookie of the year. I'll go CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud, the second overall pick, he was amazing. Had a great season. He missed a few weeks, but he was able to come back, and now he's led the Texans to the playoffs for the first time since 2019. Then the next, after that, I have 5 candidates for offensive rookie of the year. Because it's a really tight race. Next, I'll go Puka Nacua. He just set the rookie record for receiving yards and receptions, if I'm not mistaken. And he's did a great job elevating this Rams team. Nobody expect. I don't think a lot of people expected Puka Nacua to be this good. He's really had a fast rise. Another guy, Sam Laporta for the Lions. He's a really good rookie tight end. He had an injury too today. That's just unfortunate. Hopefully he'll be able to play in their playoff game. But he's one of the best tight ends in the league, and he proved that this rookie season. And the other two guys, two running backs, Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs. Both of these guys are great. Jahmyr Gibbs, he's in both of these, both him and Bijan had good seasons. Bijan, he wasn't getting this with Arthur Smith as a coach. He didn't get as many touches as he should have, but he made it work. He still had a great season. And for the last award, Defensive Rookie of the Year, I'll go Jalen Carter from the Eagles. He's been really impactful, even though our defense hasn't been great. The defensive line has been the defensive line has been good. But that's the only good thing about our defense. And Jalen Carter, he really holds it down. In second place, Will Anderson Jr., another Texan in this award. He is Will Anderson Jr. He's great. He's always bringing pressure. Then next, Devon Witherspoon, one of the best young cornerbacks in the league. Like I'm pretty sure he doesn't allow a very high catch rating. He's been good this season. I seen it we played when the Eagles played them. Devon Witherspoon, he's real nice, and he's been and I'll have him in the running for defensive rookie of the year. And that's it for this portion of the video of who I would have winning each award. Now we can transition to playoff predictions. All right, so but first, let's talk about the Colts. The Colts and Texans played a win or go home game on Saturday. We'll win, then you're in, lose, you're out. And the Colts, they weren't able to convert on it was a fourth down, and Shane Steichen, the Eagles' old offensive coordinator, he decided to he decided to take Jonathan Taylor out the game. He had 196 yards. Jonathan Taylor was amazing. He's the best player on the Colts offense. And Shane Steichen decided to take him out for some reason, and they were eliminated from the playoffs. They might have still lost if they did get it, but if they get that first down, they improve their chances of winning the game. Then next for the Jaguars, another AFC South team. They should have won the division. I know Trevor Lawrence and Christian Kirk, they were hurt over the last few weeks. But this team, they started 8-3, finished the season 9-8. This Jaguars team going into the season, they look more talented than both the Colts and Texans. But it came down to this, and they ended up missing the playoffs. So for the AFC, we got the Steelers and Bills, the Dolphins and Chiefs, the Browns and Texans, and the Ravens have a first round bye. First, I'll start with the Bills and Steelers. I don't think the Steelers stand a chance in this game. The Bills just beat the Dolphins to clinch the second seed and home field in the first round and second round if they get there. But I think they're dog walking the Steelers. I don't see the Steelers standing a chance. Now, Mike Tomlin, he's never had a losing season, which is really impressive for a coach, and he just made the playoffs again. But with the way Josh Allen's been playing the last few weeks, I think they have a field day against the Steelers, and they'll get the win to move on to the division. And I'm just doing wild card predictions, so I do my predictions through as it goes on. So once it's time for the divisional round, I'll do predictions for that. And the Dolphins and Chiefs. The Dolphins and Chiefs they met in the playoff. They met in the regular season, and the Chiefs won 21-14. Uh, I think the Chiefs will win again. It'll be a tight game, but I think the Chiefs will be able to pull this one off, and they'll win. Then we got the Browns and Texans, two teams who I think have Coach of the Year candidates, and I think the Browns win this one. They have really good defense. Joe Flacco has been playing great. Now the Texans, CJ Stroud is amazing. Nico Collins has been good. I think Tank Dell being out will hurt a bit because the Browns have really good defense. So I'm picking the Bills, Chiefs, and Browns to make it out of AFC wild card. Now moving on to the end of NFC. The Saints were eliminated from the playoffs today. And the Saints, that's unfortunate. They were 9-8, needed the Buccaneers to lose, but the Buccaneers played the Panthers and won 9-0. So the Saints, all they could have did is could have won one more game. They had an early season game with the Packers that they lost 18-17, but they did what they needed to do towards the end of the season. They won the last 2 weeks against the Buccaneers and against the Falcons, but uh, everything needed to fall their way didn't happen. The Seahawks, who I'm very disappointed in, finished the season 9-8. This team should have been better than 9-8. They should have at least had 10 to 11 wins. They also got swept by the Rams in the regular season, which was shocking. They should have at least with the season series. But the Seahawks missed the playoffs, even with the win today, finishing 9-8. This is kind of disappointing because I feel this Seahawks team is more talented than the Saints, even more talented than the Packers. Now, the Falcons, they missed the playoffs. They got they got blew out. They had a chance to win the division if they won this game and the Buccaneers lost, but that didn't happen. They played bad. The Saints ran up the score, and Austin Smith wanted to get mad about it, but maybe the Saints should have got stopped. But Austin Smith has been fired now after the Falcons have finished 7-10 the last 3 years now. And the Vikings were eliminated from the playoffs with a loss, finishing 7-10. They missed Justin Jefferson for a little bit during the season, and Kirk Cousins was out most of the season. But when he was playing, he was really great. So this not the best season for the Vikings, but it wasn't terrible considering the circumstances. So not too much to say about them. Now getting into the prediction. First, we got the Panthers and the Cowboys. This one, I think this will be a really good game. Some people might be counting the Panthers out, and I think the Cowboys win this game, but it's gonna be a nail biter. So I would take the Cowboys in that. Then next is the Rams and Lions. That one is real interesting. Also say Dan Campbell, he could be a coach of the year candidate as well. So you could have another matchup with two coach of the year candidates with the Lions and Rams. Now, now this game could be a shootout, and it probably will be. And I would take the Rams based on what I've seen with Puka Nakua, Cooper Cup, Kyron Williams. I think the Rams will win this and it'll be a shootout. A shootout. The 49ers obviously have first round bye. Then the Eagles going on the road to face the Buccaneers. The Eagles have struggled of late, but the Buccaneers, they just lost to the Saints last week. They barely beat the Panthers this week. So these are one of these teams. And the Buccaneers beat the Panthers 9-0. They didn't get a touchdown at all. So neither one of these teams really have great momentum. But I see the Eagles winning this one. The Buccaneers are too inconsistent. This and the Eagles do have some injuries that we got to deal with. But I think we should be able to beat the Buccaneers at the wild card. We probably won't get any further than that. But that is it for this video. So make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Now see y'all soon.